The off-road segment continues to expand as more and more enthusiasts are created every day, demanding more from their rides. Manufacturers have been answering the call by developing some of the most innovative, best-sounding gear possible for Jeeps and trucks. On this episode of CMA Live, we welcome some of the with us, the very latest gear developed for these passionate enthusiasts. CMA Live, presented by SiriusXM, the Jeeps and Trucks episode starts now.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM, with even more exclusive content, like over 140 channels in your vehicle, including the widest, deepest variety of music, ad-free. Root for your team. Get news. Listen to whatever makes you laugh. And hear all about your favorite stars. Your all-access trial includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels filled with music and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video. Thousands of hours of shows and performances on demand. What you love is on now.
Application-specific products that provide solutions for this important category are really what is driving its amazing growth. Joining us this evening are 5 of the most dominant brands in the segment, including Alpine, Amp Global, JL Audio, Metra, and MTI Acoustics. They're here to showcase the latest gear and help provide some expert advice and insight on how dealers can best maximize this growing trend. You see, Jeep rallies and events have been growing at an exponential rate right across the continent, and there are no signs of slowing down. So as a dealer, have you capitalized on this expanding category? Have you connected with the enthusiast groups in your area? Are you even aware of just how many products are available on the market right now? Well, on this episode, we're going to deep dive together and find out. Starting with our very first guest. This brand has been in the game for, well, as long as I've been a car audio enthusiast. And of late, they've certainly created a space for themselves in the Jeep market in particular. And I'm really interested to learn if there's anything new coming out from Alpine Electronics, and is there any offering beyond Jeep? So to join us from Alpine Electronics, I'd like to welcome Mr. Eric Brooks, who's the brand specialist from Alpine.
Thanks, Ben. Good to see you.
How's it going, Mr. Eric? It's great to see you, and I absolutely love the setting that you're in this evening. Thank you for taking the time to set that up.
Yeah, it's a blast. I figure we're going to talk about trucks and Jeeps. No better place to be than a Jeep.
Well, I'll tell you what, you look super comfortable. You're all geared up. You're in the right environment. Where are you broadcasting from?
So tonight I'm broadcasting from West Palm Beach, Florida. I'm relaxing in my garage here in the 98-degree temperature. So it's a nice balmy evening here in Florida.
Yeah, you're telling me about 98 degrees when, just this afternoon I was on a connected with BB Distribution up in Edmonton, and they had 3 inches of snow this morning. So that's how crazy it is.
That's incredible.
Oh, man.
That's incredible.
But enough about snow. Jeep events, I mentioned that in my little monologue in the introduction, and that's certainly something that's been really popular, popping up a little bit everywhere. And obviously, Alpine has been present at a lot of these Jeep rallies, I think is what they're called. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. And Alpine's really had a presence and attending. So has that been kind of critical in spreading the word and connecting with enthusiasts when it comes to your Jeep products?
Yeah, absolutely. So we started building Jeep-specific products back in around 2015 and attending these events and really becoming a part of the Jeep culture. And it really is a culture and a lifestyle when you talk about these Jeepers. And through doing these events, we've been able to figure out, specific features that they're looking for, whether it be off-road navigation or products that are weatherized so you can, get caught with your top off and not have a problem. They want better sound. So what can we do to enhance their sound and the features in the products that they're looking for? So it's really been vital being a part of these events. And it's really a blast. You have customers year after year that come back looking for you, adding on to their systems, and just really taking advantage of what Alpine has to offer.
And very, very cool. So obviously being at these events, you get to connect with the enthusiasts, literally ear to the ground, hear what they're looking for. Because I mean, it's a platform that these guys just love souping up and love accessorizing and just maximizing. So having said that, what kind of solutions does Alpine have for the latest platforms?
So we have several different products available for either the JK, which was the 2018, and then the JL and the JT, which is the new Wrangler and the new Gladiator. So we have a 9-inch head unit that has a 3-year warranty, weatherized, off-road navigation, all the great sound tuning capabilities. So we have head units for all of those models, the Wrangler JK, the JL, and the JT Gladiator. We also have sound system products. So we have, weatherized speakers. We have weatherized amplifiers, all that fit in factory locations and are tuned for those locations. We have subwoofers for the JK that fit under the seat. So whether the top is on or off, you don't lose any bass and you don't lose any trunk space. So you have just an absolute great sound experience, with being fully protected against the elements. And it's really great, that we can supply this product to the JK, the JL, and the JT. And we happen to know the people that build the factory amplified systems for those. So it helps us in developing these products.
I think that you touched on an interesting point there. Obviously, there is a connection there. And, you're talking about application-specific product. Can you go a little bit deeper when you talk about how application-specific this product actually is?
So if you look at the back of our speakers, so these actually have a Chrysler connector on them. So they're direct plug and play with the vehicle, because we know the enclosures that they're going in for the JK. These are all tuned specifically for those enclosures. We just released soundbar speakers for the JL and the JT. Again, fully tuned for those soundbars that have very small airspace, so you get great sound. It has a great cosmetic that really fits the vehicle and the lifestyle. So yeah, it's very important that these products be tuned and maximized to work in the application.
Very, very cool. I hear a lot when it comes to Alpine, something about an accessory controller. Is that something that's important in the lineup? Because it does come up a lot. I've been looking at the forums, and the guys seem to love it. Could you shed a little bit of light about what the hype is all about?
Sure. So accessory controller, what it allows us to do on the Jeep head units, as well as some of our other platform head units, it allows us to actually control different things that you add onto the vehicle. So it sends a negative trigger out. It's controlled through the head unit itself, so that you can, control light bars or, cubes, different things like that. There's a lot of different things you can do. Your imagination is the limit when it comes to what you can wire to this. So it's pretty cool.
What's the most unique application you've seen with that cassette controller?
There's a lot. So I've seen folks wire up garage door openers. I've seen air suspension wired to it, winches, so you can do amp racks, things like that for guys that go over the top in their trucks or Jeeps with, custom audio. You can control basically anything you want right from the head unit.
From the head unit. That's a feature that I remember years ago. We would be like, oh, imagine if we could do that. How cool would that be? And here it is. Feature is now available. And really, as much as it is a convenience, it's a show-off feature too, which I kind of appreciate.
Oh, absolutely. We all love to show off. And, that's why, when you look at Jeeps and trucks in the marketplace, they have big wheels, big tires, big bumpers, winches, all this stuff. These folks want to be seen. They want to have the best. So, why second guess yourself by buying anything but, a premium brand like Alpine?
Very, very cool. So we're talking about Jeep specific. You talked about, the Chrysler plugs and all that stuff. But what about solutions for other trucks? Because this episode is about Jeeps and trucks. Where does Alpine fit in that puzzle?
Sure. So we have our Halo platform, which is a floating tablet display. So we have a number of different units specifically for Toyota vehicles. that's already in the marketplace. So, we have that platform. We also have basically pre-developed sound systems that are easy upgrades for those trucks as well. Subwoofers under the seat, amplifiers that are all tied in, pre-harnessed. So there's a lot of different solutions that we have, and we're continually developing more and more for that market. It is very, very important.
So it's definitely a market that you feel is certainly growing. I think everybody who's on the show this evening could definitely agree to that statement, and I don't think there's any slowing down to it. The recent events, I mean, I wish COVID passes quicker so these events could come back full bore, because I think the passion for this platform is really what's driving the development of products first and foremost, but also the scene in general. I have one more question before we jump on to the next, and that is, you mentioned under seat subwoofers. Is this solution with the enclosure and bolt in, or what are we talking about here?
Yeah, so currently for Toyota vehicles, we have it's an 8-inch powered sub that actually is on a bracket with a 4-channel amp mounted that will directly bolt into under the seat. So it's a very easy installation, a simple upgraded sound system for the consumer. And then we're working on, larger subwoofer output systems coming in the future. So, we're constantly evolving to what the market is requesting. So, yeah, keep your eyes peeled for a lot of cool things coming out in the near future.
Oh, I know I'll have you guys back once some more firm announcements can be confirmed, and I'm really excited to talk to you about that. I should mention, of course, for our viewers in Canada, if you're interested in the Alpine line of products, whether it's for Jeep or any other products that they have, Gentech is their distributor in Canada that handles that for them, and they can help you out. Now I'm going to pick your brain while I got you here, Eric. I've seen this new ride that's been getting a lot of hype on the road. I've actually seen one roll by, and I actually twisted my neck looking at it the other day. And that is the new Bronco. What do you feel? Do you think that's going to be the next platform? I'm just curious.
I got to tell you, they seem to be. There's a lot of hype about it. A lot of people talking about them. I think it's going to be the next big thing. So, we're constantly developing and looking at what the next great vehicle is going to be. And I have no doubt that that's going to be a very exciting platform. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for what we're going to have in store for that. So I can only imagine it's going to be really cool. I'm sure our team is already planning stuff.
Yeah, the interior of that vehicle is quite interesting. I'm very excited to see what everybody comes up with, and Alpine, of course, in particular. Before I let you go, Eric, I always want to extract a little bit of expert advice for our viewership, which is dealers, of course.
Sure.
And believe it or not, I know you live in that Jeep space. You're obviously in one right now, but there are dealers that haven't totally committed themselves to engaging with that clientele, right? The Jeep clientele, the off-road truck clientele. What advice do you have for dealers who are kind of tiptoeing around it to kind of dive in, and for what reason?
So the Jeep customer is very unique. They want to, they take pride in their vehicle. They want the best for their vehicle. So what I found is, especially at these events, we have a wide range of head unit possibilities for these at different price points. And it's amazing how this Jeep customer is willing to spend the premium dollar for a premium product. So don't be afraid of that. Find where these folks congregate, where they hang out, really tap into it. If you embrace them like Alpine has, they really bring you into the fold, and it's just a great community. So it's definitely something that you should take time to learn in your specific areas, because it can pay dividends, in the end.
What I always say, especially if there's products developed application specific, what better avenue to get in on the product when that offering is already available in the market, whereby when there's a new platform you're developing, it takes tons of time to figure things out and make things work. Here's a company that already has the solutions. You just need to order it and put it in,
right,
and the customer is going to love it, and they're going to pay top dollar for it. So. All right, Eric, right. I can't thank you enough. I'm sorry that you're sweating in your Jeep for this session, but we do appreciate you setting it up. Alpine, some great product. I'm sure you can go to the website, check out all the. I also, I want to plug I want to plug Mr. Chris Tagu. Make sure you check out his show, What's New Tagu.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great show on Alpine product. Very entertaining, very informative. Make sure you check that out. I believe it airs on YouTube and Facebook.
Hey, don't forget, Ben. I have a show too now. I have a show too. Don't just give Chris all the props. Yeah.
Okay.
So Inside Brooks. So hey, check out Alpine TV on YouTube, and you'll see.
There you go.
You know, there are several of us, brand specialists and Chris Tagu. We all make content. You can see great Jeep products, great truck products, all the different products that we have. There are great videos there, so you can learn more and see what we have to offer.
Perfect. There you go, guys. Eric, can't thank you enough for being on representing Alpine. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Ben.
Again, that was Eric Brooks, a brand specialist for Alpine. And again, if you're interested in getting more information or maybe becoming an Alpine dealer, make sure you reach out to the good folks at Gentech International. They got your Alpine brand on lock just for you. All right, let's move on to our next guest, because we've got 5 guests in total. And this is a brand that, you know, when you think of it at first, and many of you might not be aware yet, and I'm hoping with this episode, it's going to open your eyes a little bit. We're talking about Amp Global and their brand Stinger. So when you think of Stinger, obviously you're going to think about accessories and wiring and all that stuff. But if you've been in tune with what's been going on and what's been up at the Stinger camp, you're going to see they've been a busy bunch of people, because they've come out with some interesting product that might not be typical for what you think, the category that they are most known for. Let's go ahead and bring on Director of Training and Events for Amp Global, good friend Jeff Smith. Come on up, Jeff. Mr. Smith, good to see you again.
Man. You too, man.
I'm trying to set up the folks watching to say, expect the unexpected sometimes, because, Stinger is a brand that's been around for a long time. We all know it. All of us in car audio have known Stinger for years and years, accessories, but you guys have made some power plays of late, and that's why you're here on this Jeeps and Trucks episode.
Right. So we at AMP, we took the plunge into the alternative markets, right? So we took the plunge into marine, into power sports, into Harley, and now this off-road section that encompasses Jeeps and trucks, and those vehicles where people actually spend as much time as possible out enjoying the outdoors. So we took full advantage of using the Stinger name and going down that path to create an entire suite of products. And within those products, that's probably one of the things that, being under the AMP umbrella, we kind of take advantage of all the different companies under our umbrella. So not only is it built with the well-known name brand and reliability of Stinger, but then you bring in the integration pieces from PAC. You bring in the safety features from the EchoMaster brand. Then, of course, you bring in the high-performance audio influences from the PG line. So this whole off-road thing that we've touched on a few other times with you guys, this is where we are with the Jeep and Truck section for Stinger Off-Road now.
Well, we're really happy to have you on for this one, Jeff, and the AMP family of products, and Stinger in particular. So what is new and different at AMP Camp? Camp Amp. There you go.
So for us, what we decided to do a little bit new and different was we decided to create a different user interface. And since we are making the head unit and we make the dash kit and the integration module, we decided to bring it all together and offer a head unit solution for these trucks and Jeeps that gives them a more integrated, user-friendly feature set that's above and beyond what any other manufacturer is pretty much capable of doing, because we do it all in-house.
Wow. So we saw those images there. Very complete kits for very specific applications. And, I like how you just grazed upon the fact that you make this head unit. What are some of the unique features of this head unit? Because that head unit there has been causing a ruckus in this community.
Right. The Stinger High 10 or UN 1810. So it's really made a big splash in the industry. Some of the very unique features is that, like the 2 slides you just showed, we also have the ability to blend the head unit and the integration into the vehicle, and also be able to integrate into the vehicle in a way that the unit itself has the ability to bring the user interface into their vehicle. Like here, we're able to integrate the climate controls directly into the screen. So when you were to operate the factory controls, your climate control would come up. Above and beyond that, one of the most interesting screens is going to be the fact that we can integrate a lot of standard vehicle information that the OEM screen normally did not show. So being able to see tire pressure information, whether any of your doors are open, being able to navigate through 16 custom gauges. So whether your customer wants to know fuel pressure, transmission temp, oil temp, things like that, we can switch through that. Your performance screen, because we know a lot of the truck and Jeep customers always want to know how fast they go, 0 to 60 and things like that. But most importantly for the Jeep market are the off-road screens, right? So in this particular platform in the Jeep JL, we do offer this integration so that you can understand your pitch and roll, your altitude, and your compass all on a 10-inch screen. So this is information that makes wheeling out on trails so much more fun and interesting because you can really see how far you're going to push the limits of your actual Jeep. Above and beyond that, we have the drivetrain screen, so you can keep up with your transfer case, with whether you're a two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and being able to integrate your cameras on top of any of these screens as well. So all of this rolls back kit bin. It's an SRK kit. If it's just a kit that integrates the radio into the dash as far as steering wheel controls and working with the factory computers and the audio system, that's just a standard SRK. But we do kind of, really take pride in being able to integrate the Stinger head unit, the High 10, into these modern vehicles for the Jeep and truck market.
And I have to comment on that off-road screen. I mean, you literally have incorporated the entire lifestyle and the raison d'etre of these guys who build their Jeeps and off-road into, the interface of the screen. I mean, I think that's noteworthy. So kudos on that. I think that's pretty game-changing stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the things when we go to these Jeep events, that's the big screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But what if a customer, doesn't want this giant screen, or maybe it's a budget constraint? Are there other options that Stinger offers?
100%. Well, this is actually going to be a pack offering under the same umbrella as Stinger and the Amp umbrella. So we have what we call our pack integrated dash kits. So we have multiple different dash kits for different platforms. We have and this works with any brand of head unit, right? So this is going to be the integrated dash kit that works with either the 15 to 20 F-150 and the Super Duty, the Dodge Ram truck, and the Jeep Cherokee, and the Dodge Durango. So this replaces screen that now brings all of the information that was on your head unit onto this kit now. So tire pressure information, the gauges, being able to control your climate control is all being handled through this 5.2-inch touchscreen on the kit itself. So because this is more of a pack integration kit, this allows you to use any head unit on the market. You don't necessarily have to use one of the Stingers. So the Stinger kits are available for the Jeep JK, the Jeep JL, the Chevy Silverado, Sierra. As far as the integrated to get all the digital data information from the vehicle, that's currently now only available in the Dodge Ram and the Jeep JL. So that's what we have to offer for those customers who aren't looking to have the integrated kit but want to use any other brand of head unit out in the marketplace. They can use the pack integrated Radio Pro integrated kits that are going to still keep all those same functionality that they had with the OEM system with an aftermarket radio, regardless of the type of radio that it is.
Full screen fits all universal right in there.
Correct. And it doesn't even have to be a double DIN because all of the information is on that screen. It can be a single DIN. We include everything in this kit. So you'll get the Radio Pro to incorporate with the amplified or non-amplified vehicle. You'll get the antenna adapters. You'll get USB retention harnesses. You'll get the standard camera retention harness, which is a big deal in the Stinger kit because we are the only company that retains the factory HD resolution in the Jeep JLs. In the pack integrated kit, we bring that OEM camera into whatever aftermarket radio is here. And we do also offer an additional harness to allow up to 4 additional cameras along with the factory camera to be displayed on that head unit in the dash itself. So up to 5 cameras can be displayed here. In the Jeep JL, you can have up to 5 cameras, including the 4 that we offer in the radio and then the OEM. And the JT or Gladiator, you can have up to 6 cameras because you have a factory front camera, a factory rear camera, and then the 4 additional cameras that you can add into the high-10 head unit itself. So then we really try to look at the feature set and give the customers the ability to either go really integrated, or if they want to be able to use their own head unit or a different brand of head unit, if they're more familiar with an Alpine, a Sony, a Kenwood, JVC, whatever brand of head unit they may want, then we have a solution for that platform of vehicles with these pack integrated kits.
I have to say, I really like that kit. It's so concise, so complete. It's so well thought out. So I have to ask the question, Jeff, what's next then for Stinger Off-Road? What's coming down the pipe? I see the directions going. I just want to hear it from your mouth.
Yeah, so we do offer lots of accessories like Stinger is well known for. We offer lots of lighting. We offer rock lights, interior LED lights. We offer whip lights and things like that. We do offer audio equipment as well, amplifiers, subwoofers, and many other options like that. Coming further down the road, we're going to start offering more vehicle-specific audio solutions. So we're starting off with a tailgate, a swing gate subwoofer enclosure for the Jeep JL and JK. That houses a 10-inch subwoofer from Phoenix Gold in a Stinger enclosure. So another blending of brands from our umbrella. We're also going to offer for the truck customers a single 10 down-firing enclosure for a wide variety of underseat truck applications. And that truck box is convertible between sealed and vented as well. So depending upon your customer's taste and output, we do have that coming as well. But we're still working on some more integrated features because the integrated options for the JL and the Ram truck are hits every time anyone sees them. So we're definitely working on bringing more of the SRK fully integrated kits to the marketplace for some of the other vehicles that we already have in place with the high-10 kits.
Man, that's just awesome. Those kits are just such great solutions. I know if I was a Jeep owner, I'd certainly be looking at that. It's just perfect solution. It's got everything. I don't know if you can ask for any more features. On that note, Jeff, you've been to a couple of these Jeep rallies. You know the Jeep customer. You've installed on these Jeeps a lot of stuff. What advice do you have for the dealers that are looking at this saying, oh, my God, I didn't even know there was this much stuff for Jeeps or trucks for that matter?
Yeah. Dealers would be amazed to go out to these Jeep festivals or different events to actually see, kind of like Eric mentioned earlier, these Jeep customers go to these events, and this is when they want to buy every accessory they can offer. If you even offer the ability to install it on site, they're going to go for it. We've gone to many different events so far this year. I'm helping plan one right now in Pennsylvania. We've been to Moab, we've been to Daytona, we've been to Panama City, and we go all over. And retailers need to understand that you can't sell and connect to Jeep customers in your store. You're going to have to go out to these events, show your presence, show your products that are available. Like these are retail displays for our dealers that are going to be going out for different customers, retailers to purchase them, tabletop and a floor standing. Get these displays, go out into these events, show off your LEDs, show off your ability, upfit a Jeep, whether it's a customer's Jeep or your own shop Jeep, because you have to get in front of these people to show them what you're capable of, and you'll reap the benefits 100%.
That's great advice from another expert here, Jeff Smith, representing AMP Global and Stinger Off-Road, of course. Hey, if you're in Canada, you're a dealer, you're looking at getting in on some of this product, make sure you really cool product. I really want to salute the team behind that because a lot of thought on engineering has gone behind that for sure.
Cool. Thanks a lot for having us.
All right. Really cool. Application specific is certainly something that I find very interesting. It didn't exist back in the day. There was no such thing as application specific. And now it's like all the rage, and rightfully so. For a dealer, if you're a shop, this is easy stuff to sell because it's made to fit and it's been tested. And another company, another brand that I'm about to bring on is no stranger to application specific. In fact, they may be one of the pioneers of application specific with their Stealth Box line. And of course, when I say the word Stealth Box, I'm referring to JL Audio. So I'd like to welcome to CMA Live somebody new from the team for JL that hasn't been on. I'm pretty excited to have him on. His name is Bryant Fisher, and he's the marketing director for JL Audio. Welcome, Bryant.
Hi, Ben. Hey, welcome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us this evening. As you see, we're celebrating Jeeps and trucks, and I hope that intro kind of made sense for JL, because I know Stealth Box has been in the game a long time, and I'm talking application specific. How much more application specific can you get than Stealth Box?
Not much. So we'll get to that in a little bit, but I think it's been over 2 decades that we've been making the Stealth Box product. So yeah, probably one of the pioneers probably for that segment. So, but before we dive into Stealth Box, I'd shared some stats with you just about this segment, and it probably supports why everybody's tuning in, why you have a bunch of people participating in this one. So if you want to bring that one up, so this is market data that's available through CMA. So when you throw up a number of $45 billion attributed in aftermarket retail parts, and 40% of that coming in the trucks and Jeeps segment. So you got to pay attention to that. So without going through too much of those ones, it's kind of validates what we're doing and why we put the R&D money and costs and time and energy into it, and probably why the rest of these companies that have been invited on are doing the same thing. So,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's very cool that you brought those stats to the table. I mean, I think everybody knows because they can see the orders and the demand, but to see actual metrics attached to that, it just kind of gives it a whole new perspective. So I do appreciate you bringing that to the table. Thank you so much, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. So we use that as a reference point, but like you state, we see that as well. So we're seeing that in the popularity of the models that we're making for full-size trucks, SUVs, our Jeep products. So
absolutely.
Anyways, so
why don't we dive into? Yeah, let's go into Stealth Box. That's kind of really, when we're doing a Jeep and truck episode, JL, we're always in our pre-production meeting. What brands should be there? Because we want to show, a snapshot. If you're, for dealers tuning in, if you're interested in this segment, what are the brands that offer the goods? So obviously, Stealth Box was in there. So let's dive into it. Tell us more about Stealth Box.
Yeah, so Box Enclosures is, as the name describes it, it's a fiberglass enclosure that we build in our Miramar, Florida factory. So we bring new vehicles in, we'll scan the vehicle, we'll use computers and 3D modeling to develop a enclosure that nests into the vehicle and looks like it was originally supposed to be there. So from that modeling, we'll go and pull our first mold. We'll build a test run of that one. We'll put it in the vehicle and we'll actually listen to it. So that's how we validate the product. And then from there, it'll go into our production lines and it'll become we'll make what we box. The reason why we've done that one is it allows us to kind of do just-in-time inventory. So the naked box will go on the shelf, it'll sit there. Not every interior is the exact same color. So it allows us to offer a variety of different carpet finishes. So it matches your color grade inside your vehicle, and then it gets built, gets shipped out. Dealer has the opportunity to integrate it and sell it to the end consumer, and give a finish that would mean like it came off the showroom floor.
Yeah, that is amazing, and I think that's what the success of Stealth Box is certainly attributed to a lot of the key elements that you just mentioned there, especially the fact that it's made here, the attention to detail, and all that great stuff. But we're on a Jeep and Trucks episode, Brian. So why don't you tell us a little bit more details when it comes to Stealth Box solutions specific to the Jeep and truck market?
Well, specific to that market, there's 2 key attributes. There's the solution of the Stealth Box, but we wouldn't be able to accomplish what we're doing with in the stealth box category without what we're doing on some of our thin line woofers. So the development of TW1, TW3, and TW5 over the years has allowed us to fit a woofer solution in tighter, smaller, more compact, smaller enclosure size spaces that we weren't previously able to get into, and still offer a performance that you would find in a standard or traditional subwoofer application. So for the JL Jeep. So 2019, when Jeep transitioned from their JK model, which had been out for numerous years, virtually going unchanged and heavily adopted in the off-road community. So there was a lot of hype when they went to or set out to unveil that JL. So we actually purchased one because we kind of thought it was fitting. JL. But nothing. All right. So as we brought that one in, we opted to build that one up. So we did a tour in 2019 with that one. Obviously, things went on hold in 2020. So we're looking forward, kind of like some of these other companies, and getting back out there and being at some of these popular consumer events where we can show off what we're doing and the capabilities of the audio system and what can be achieved in a kind of a compromised listening position, right? So the Jeep itself is meant to go off-roading. It's meant for the doors to be off. So it's a versatile vehicle that, one would think that you can achieve a quality sound quality system in that one. So as we were going through and developing not only the stealth box, we looked at other opportunities for products. So with the Jeep JL, we introduced a series of product called stealth box accessories. So it was those brackets that you saw in there. So for the JL, we offer two solutions. It's an amp rack that goes under either the passenger or driver's seat. It's pre-tapped for a variety of different amplifier chassis. So amplifiers from our VXI line to our RD line to our MX line, and even the XD line, which has been super popular for numerous years. So, and then beyond that one, we offer a fuse holder that goes under the hood, uses factory mounting positions there that incorporates our fuse holders to then route into the vehicle. So it's a couple of neat solutions to simplify in the integration for an installer. So this opened up doors for retailers that are already doing some custom fab work, but also some other retailers that maybe they just have a table saw and router and they're just kind of doing, MDF enclosures and not necessarily offering fiberglass as an option. So this gives them a solution for something they might not have been able to do previously. So,
I mean, okay, so just to be clear, we were talking about stealth box accessories, and then all of a sudden, so fuse holders, different brackets for amplifiers, is that all under stealth box accessories? Or is that kind of like a new kind of offshoot?
Well, we're branching out, so we're calling this kind of the pro shop, right? So it's a collection of products that now makes the retailer in a position where they can offer these kind of solutions, these systems, pre-prescribed, something that like you get in all the time, right? You have an F-150 that comes in, and you figure out what door speakers you put in there. If you're running one of the Amp Global Pack Pro pieces behind the dash, and then you do an XD amplifier, and then you do a couple of subwoofers in the solution, stealth box solution we offer for that vehicle, and it sounds really good, and the customer's super happy, right? So as a retailer, you'd want to continue to offer that again. So now you're doing a system approach of, hey, you come in and you're going to sell from the base solution forward. So that's how Stealth Box has been a great tool for retailers, is these add-on sales opportunities. They can start with a simple solution that the customer sees as a giant value add because they couldn't get subwoofers in there any other way. But then they're also doing the attachment sales beyond that. So
I absolutely appreciate these system solutions, as you're referring to, or JL Audio Pro Shop is what you're referring to as. So where do you see Pro Shop evolving to, and where do you see the Jeep and truck segment going in the future?
So there's a lot of possibilities with Pro Shop. So a couple of years ago, we ushered in a product called VXI that has integrated DSP. DSP products are opening up opportunities for integrations, repeatability for a lot of different partners in the industry. So with that product, think about it, that same scenario, but instead of a XD amplifier, you're using VXI. So now you have the recipe for all these components, and you spent the time to tune that vehicle. Maybe the time was invested on the first vehicle, but now the next one that comes in, you're just loading a file. So what you maybe spent an hour in tuning, you can turn around and charge that same hour because you put the time and energy into it, and you offer that to the next customer. But it's a tune file that you have that you can pull up, and just makes it repeatable. It's just kind of a smart approach, efficient approach to kind of doing these system designs. So it empowers the dealer to offer a great value add to their customers.
It's efficient, it performs, and it's repeatable.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Right? And that's what dealers want.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
And what about market trends? Where do you think it's going?
It's interesting. So just as much as we're watching kind of the sales and the stats and stuff like that, but it's also, like you said, it's validated in what you see as a consumer. It's validated when you go out to the events and you see Jeep owners come out in droves with their accessorized vehicles. So it just goes, okay, yeah, we're in the right place. These people are spending money on the accessories that they're doing. So it's going to continue to trend that way. But you watch other things that are coming into the industry. So the automakers are bringing back models that they had retired like once before. So you're seeing that with the introduction of the Bronco, Jeep with their Wagoneer. Then you have offshoots where Tesla basically broke the internet.
Oh, you're
going
to talk about this.
Right?
Oh my God. Do I see a stealth box for Cybertruck? Tell me it's coming. Tell me it's coming.
Got to get our hands on one first, right? So remember the whole development process, but and also the business approach is changing too. So we talk about if Bronco is going to be a player in this segment or somebody that we need to take a look at their business model. I think they just published that they're going to start approaching standalone retail shops. So think as in 12-volt specialist, now you have another opportunity to approach somebody that's specializing in a specific platform and approach them with systems and packages that they can extend to their customers. Here at the local dealerships, they're offering pre-built vehicles, and they're rolling all of that into the financing costs. So you're getting your wheels, tires, suspension, everything else in there. So now they're also offering another offshoot of that, another opportunity to kind of build your business on that end. So
very, very cool. And I guess I'll take that as your expert advice right there. If you're tuning in, your Canadian dealer, JL Audio has been with Gemsen, a great partnership for the longest time. Make sure you reach out to the good folks at Gemsen if you're interested in JL Audio products. Bryant, love the wisdom that you brought to the show. Thank you for being part of it. And Stealth Box and Pro Shop for the win. Absolutely. Keep that going for sure. That's very, very exciting stuff.
Thanks, Ben and Gemsen, for having us. Appreciate it.
All right. So that was Bryant from JL Audio sharing with us some cool stuff coming down the pipe for JL, and they're working very hard on. That system package thing, I think it's come up in conversation quite a few times now, and I'm starting to see it as a trend. So I might make an early prediction here that moving into 2022, we might start seeing a little bit more of that in the marketplace. All right, let's move on to our next category, next guest, of course. Huge brand, great collaborator of ours that been on many, many times. And of course, when it came to Jeep and trucks, these guys are no slouch either. Of course, we're talking about Metra. And when it comes to Metra in Canada, I got to bring on my man, Gatlin Sandhu, who's the Canada sales manager. Come on, Gatlin.
Hello, Ben. How you doing? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Hey, this is a real picture of my base.
That's all right. I actually really think that's a really cool. That's a really cool image behind you. Yeah, I know it looks great. Gatlin, I know you get excited about every product, every category because you love them all. But you got to admit, Jeeps and trucks is one of those categories which is rocking the industry right now.
it's a massive, massive industry. There was a segment there on the last, with JL when they had the stats about the world's most modified vehicle, and it's kind of mind blowing to think that if that really is $44.9 billion worth of flow of money goes into modifying Jeeps and trucks and accessories, and to kind of bat off of that, Metro's got you covered from A to Z. Everything from your lighting to your underglow kits to your stop and start modules to you name it. There's pretty much a peripheral that we make to give you the solution, right? Our brand pieces will work well with a company like JL or Kicker or any other audio brands for that matter, but we are a peripheral company. So we tend to make a lot of products that will help people become more profitable and efficient in the Bay. And with that, we're always listening to our consumers and making sure that we get a good insight on what exactly it is that we should be making. And so we do attend those shows. We do go out there, and we do have our own outside vehicles and reps that have our Jeeps and our products on them. And it's amazing when you go out there to see, even when we're at SEMA and say we didn't even sponsor this guy, and we're walking up to the Jeep and it's like, oh, there's a heist piece there, there's one of our Jeep accessories there. It's become such a wide and vast used piece. Our pieces at Metro for Jeep and truck accessories that it's like adding milk to cereal, right?
No kidding. So you and I had a chance to kind of take the big monster that is Metro and say, look, Alan, we got 10 minutes to talk about a couple key pieces that you're excited about that you want dealers to know about. Yeah, so let's dive right in. The first one I wanted to know about, right, was this overhead speaker adapter that everybody's talking about, because it's a simple solution. Do you have that with you? Oh, there you go. Let's talk about this one first.
Here, and this is hot piece right now. I'll tell you that, because we're the cool thing about these is not only that we're giving you the option to replace those overhead speakers, those 3.5 inch to a 6.5 or a 6 3/4 inch speaker, but any of this plastic injection molding is being done in our factory in Florida. We're not, warehousing this out to or off-sourcing any of that. All of our plastic injection molding is being done in Florida, in-house. Any of our R&D, 3D printing, any of that type of work is being done in Florida. So, a really great piece. We also offer this in the front as well, so you can replace those little 3.5 inch speakers in the dash as well. The model number on this one here is the JP1015 for the overhead. And the JP1014 is for the front there. And, this is a quick little, unboxing here to kind of give you guys of exactly is inside the box. So I'll show you that really quickly. And, comes with the instructions, obviously. Lets you know how to install it. Comes with the factory speaker adapters as well. So really simple, clean install. Comes with the predetermined ends on there as well. So any of your aftermarket speaker brands can get installed. Our plastic injected molded overhead speaker pods. And on the back here, you can see that there's actually a little, see if I can get the light the right way here, but there's a little section here that you're able to install a component speaker tweeter into as well. Wow. Center point here in the overhead speaker adapter to be able to drill from the back side to have a nice centered look on the front of both of the adapters. So that way when you're installing them, it's a nice consistent and even look on both sides. And of course, it includes all of the necessary metal bracketries as well here. And all of the hardware, which is a great little piece here. Again, super nice to have. These are probably one of our hottest selling items right now. And it's because everyone wants to upgrade those 3.5 inch speakers from what they are to a nice 6.5, so you can get some good sound quality out of them, right? And these are really nice to have, especially if you just get them in inventory. So make sure you order a few at the same time, and you're not just keeping one on hand. You want to make sure you have more than one.
And just to be clear, these are for JL, right? Not JL Audio, JL Jeep model Jeep.
These are for the Wrangler and the Jeep Gladiator. So 2018 and up Jeep Wrangler, and 2020 and up Jeep Gladiator overhead speaker adapters here.
All right. The next item that I want to find out about was that third brake light conversion, because that seems to be a really popular model.
A neat little piece from our heist department. It's an 85 watt This is really universal across the board, not just for the Jeep JL, but of course, if it's the JL, the JK, the TJ, 97 and up, Jeep Wrangler, spare tire light. And I'll give you a little zoom in there. And basically, it installs right behind the spare tire on the back of a Jeep. And I'm not sure if anybody's had an opportunity to see these things, but it's like being on a motorcycle. You want to be seen. These things are just like that too. If you have a cool spare tire, or you've upgraded those, factory rims to like a 22-inch or whatever the case might be, and you really want to light it up at nighttime, it's a nice, quick, little, simple way of doing that. Nice, clean piece. It's hermetically sealed as well, so no water infiltration. The install is really basic and simple. Hook the brake light or the tail light with just a positive and negative connection here, and it bolts in line with the rear spare tire, which is super great. Nice little piece there.
We're talking about lighting. That's a neat piece. I thought it was pretty cool, and it looks pretty easy to install and an easy piece to have in your inventory, right? I mean, that's an easy one. But, undercar lighting, and Heiss has a really cool kit. I mean, Heiss has a lot of lighting options, off-road lighting and all that stuff. We could spend the next hour just talking about that. But I guess I'm being more specific to the RGB programmable option that Heiss has for off-road.
I think I actually gave you a slide there. You can show for our Underglow kit here.
There it is.
This is our So this is an Underglow kit. Includes two 48-inch tubes, two 36-inch tubes, dual connection to control for maximum current and even illumination. It requires the RGB1 CB1 controller, which is again sold separately, so you can control this piece as well as any of our other RGB lighting solutions as well, using the app that we have created, and that will allow you to control up to 8 different pieces with the app and the RGB CB1. And this kit is really cool. It's showed and featured onto a Jeep, but of course you can install it on any vehicle, whether it's a Jeep or a truck or any of that type of thing. But it's a nice another little from us. I encourage people actually, because we have so many product offerings and so little time, it seems like on these podcasts, to actually, view our Jeeps and Accessories catalog on our website. You go on to the metroonline.com, click that catalog link at the very top there, and you scroll down. It's about the third or fourth one down, and it just says Jeep and Truck Accessories. When you go on there, there are so many pieces that are available to upgrade, to you make your Jeep unique, and it's just a really cool catalog to kind of browse your way through, because it starts planting seeds, right?
When we thought about the Jeep and truck category, we really wanted Metro on here because, yes, we have audio brands, and it's great because audio is a big focus as well, but there are so many accessories that dealers can capitalize on the sale, right? So you're putting in a system, right, in a JL. Dude, light it up. Put the third brake light.
Light it up.
Get the underglow kit.
Not only that, of course, we offer all the integration pieces as well, our DSP, our plug-and-play DSP pieces for any of the new Jeep JLs and Gladiators as well. Which also
what? On that note, you're reading my mind. Access released a new piece. It's an integration kit. I thought this was important to show on this show for Pioneer radios, but for the JL application, check this one out. Talk just real quick about this.
So this is our AXPL1. And what this does is it allows you to install the Pioneer 8-inch radio into the factory dash housing there. And it allows you to retain all the factory personalization menus through the Pioneer receiver. So it provides you with the visual of the HVAC controls, the gauges, all of your check engine lights, things like that, backup cameras. Something as well that is included with this kit from our I-beam department is it also includes an I-beam weather-resistant direct OE camera replacement, which is IP.68 rated. I know a lot of these guys are installing aftermarket cameras, but those factory cameras on these Jeep JLs and Gladiators are like HD. So unfortunately, there's no way of actually really being able to retain those pieces. And so we actually include an IP.68 rated factory installed looking camera that gives you that same type of quality on that Pioneer receiver. And something else that's to be noted on that piece as well is it also includes that the infamous JL Jeep engine stop start feature disable, and they're not wanting their amplifiers to be cutting in and out while the vehicle's at a stoplight or something like that. It gives you the ability to turn on and off that feature through that kit using the Pioneer radio. It's a pretty cool collaboration that we've done with Pioneer.
Yeah, and that's a really complete kit, like you said, with the I-beam department that does ADAS for Metra, having that camera built in. It really is all-inclusive. 100%. Rounding it out, we're already out of time. I know that flies by real quick. I know you're talking about, visiting Metra online to get go look at the catalog. If you're looking for, so many distributors in Canada that carry the Metra line. I want to pick your brain real quick before I let you go, Gatlin. In Canada, there's no doubt Jeeps are popular, trucks are popular. It might not be to the level that they are in the U.S. with those giant Jeep rallies, but if you're talking to a dealer right now. Right. I just wonder what you would tell a dealer right now. Like, bro, you got to get into Jeeps and off-road, and here's why.
Yeah. That's just the thing, Some of my retailers will say, as long as I have the product in stock, it'll sell. And that's the main thing, in your showroom, when you have, product displays and things like that, the ability to show even something like this, like on the third brake light, have this lighting up in the background with, maybe the box beside it kind of thing. Knowledge is power. So if you don't know about it, how you sell it? And so that's the same thing with our consumers that we're out there dealing with inside the showrooms, is that, use it as an opportunity when they have their Jeep in there to accessorize. I would say the majority of people who are buying Jeeps are already in their mindset knowing they're going to be upgrading and, lifting and tires and rims and audio and lighting and all that stuff. And so, the Jeep's in your showroom. Make sure you capitalize, visit our website, contact myself, Gatlin Sandhu at metraelectronics.com. And, I'll point you in the right direction. If you need any help, tech support, I'm here for you as well. And, that's what we're here for, is to make more money and become more profitable in the Bay.
That's great advice. You heard it from Gatlin Sandhu, who's the Canada sales rep for Metra and all the brands under the Metra umbrella. Thank you so much for being on once again, Gatlin.
Thank you again for having me, Ben. Appreciate it, and have yourself a great night.
Have a great night. Metra, a monster. I mean, they just got so many things. I mean, if you got a shop, I don't even know. If I owned a shop, I don't know how I would not have any Metra. It's almost impossible. They just got so many great offerings that really round out your install. And what I extract from that conversation, and specifically why we had Metra on there, is don't be so unidimensional. Capitalize, maximize that sale, maximize the experience for that customer. So it goes, beyond just one lane, because there are so many different products available for this segment. Rounding out the show, saving the best for last, arguably, is a renowned fabrication team led by this gentleman who is pretty much an icon in the fabrication world. His name is Chris Pate, and the brand is MTI Acoustics. What's going on, Chris?
How you guys doing today?
Man, we are getting muddy with Jeeps and trucks.
Muddy.
And, muddy. And, when we thought of doing this Jeeps and Trucks episode, we're brainstorming the table. Man, I know a guy that does a ridiculous amount of stuff for trucks. Maybe we can ask him to be on and show him what he does. And that's you, man. So thanks for being on with us.
Oh, absolutely. It's a lot of fun. It's cool to be here with these other great companies, Jeeps and Trucks. And,
everybody,
really,
yeah.
Yeah, their effect on the industry.
So, I mean, you have played with all the toys, and you've played with every vehicle in this category, and you've played with the different products available. And we know MTI Acoustics as a premier custom fab shop. But when did you get into the manufacturing game?
Roughly, you're looking at 5 years ago, we started manufacturing enclosures. And, that was, it was something that we've been a part of, the truck culture, especially being here in Texas, for a very long time. And it just, it kind of fit. We saw a trend in the market where you saw, trucks, being as expensive and, considered a higher end vehicle, a lot like a BMW or a Mercedes. I mean, your average price for a truck now is $65,000 to $120,000. So, we saw a chance there to take, what we do, and especially on the high-end interior side and the video side, and combine them and start creating different models of enclosures for your current model trucks that match the interior, that is that looks like possibly, you know, something that could have came from the dealership or come from the manufacturer, fits perfectly, you know, and your leather and your stitch match, and your, you know, it looks like something that could have been done.
You know, and obviously in your shop and the customers that come through your shop, you've probably built the same type of box over and over and over on many occasions on some of the popular platforms, and so that probably connected the dots. So what are some of the key features that make, you know, the MTI enclosure stand out for enthusiasts?
So the first thing right off the bat is, you know, you're going to get a box that fits. You know, that's the big thing for us. We want a box that fits the vehicle. You know, if you've got, you know, you look at all the back seats of all these trucks, there's no angles to them. They don't have angled corners. They don't have square corners. They have a rounded corner. So first and foremost, and this is honestly taking a cue from, you know, one of our favorite brands, which is JL Audio, you know, from looking at how they do their stealth boxes, you know, they're rounded, they fit. So you know what, you want to build a rounded enclosure that fits. So what we did is we looked at that and we said, hey, you know what, the seats are in these vehicles are mostly, you know, leather. They have stitching. So you look at that and you say, how do you take it up a notch? How do you get something that really is going to fit? So on our enclosures, especially on the stage 2s, 3s, and 4s, you can add leather and stitch. You know, we can match the factory leather or vinyl. We can match the factory stitch. You know, all our enclosures, you know, you can either add, you know, custom vehicle badging. We're one of the largest purchasers of vehicle badging from Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Nissan, Toyota, Chevrolet. You know, we keep, probably, you know, just about every badge that's on a current vehicle we keep in stock. So you have the ability to add, you know, those badges to your vehicle. And obviously, like you see behind me, custom lighting of all sorts of nature. And we buy a bunch of our LEDs and stuff in bulk from Metra. So thank you guys. They're always really nice to provide ways for us to continue doing what we do. And then, you know, ultimately, you know, you have a 3/4 inch MDF built box. You know, everything's CNC cut. It's CAD designed. We build enclosures that are designed to work with the subwoofers correctly. It's not a one size fit all. It's not a one size fit all enclosure. We want to build something that works correctly for that enclosure, and you have the ability, works correctly for that subwoofer, and you have the ability to, you know, some of them can be ported, some of them can only be done sealed. It really depends on the airspace that you have going on there. Like I tell a lot of clients, I can put a hole in a box for you. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean it's going to sound good. And ultimately, that's what we want. Is we want an enclosure that looks amazing, but also sounds phenomenal as well.
Very, very cool. So you got these different levels, I guess, of finish, like as you mentioned, and a ton of different features that make your boxes or enclosures very unique. But what applications do you have within this space? You know, we're on the Jeeps and Trucks episode. How deep do you go with Jeeps and Trucks?
So that's our focus. That is what Mobile Toy or MTI Acoustic is, and Mobile Toys Inc. is we focus on Jeeps and trucks, especially. Obviously, everybody knows we're a big Ford people down here. We have tons of them. We obviously have 2 or 3 here at the facility at all times. We also have 2 or 3 Chevy and GM trucks here at all times. You know, so you're going to see all your Ford, your Chevrolet trucks, your GMC trucks. You're going to see Nissans in the XD line. You're going to see your Toyota Tacomas, your Tundras. You're going to see obviously all the Ram trucks. Both the crew cab and also the heavy duty lines, which are the 2500s and 3500s. You know, and then obviously in the Jeeps, we do boxes for the JKs and the JLs. And then we also do underseat enclosures for all the Gladiators as well.
So basically what you're telling me, Chris, is if you own a Jeep or a truck, you got a box that goes in there.
That is very true. We do.
Very, very cool. Now, is everything designed, produced in-house in College Station, Texas? CAD, all that stuff?
Everything is. We do everything here in-house. We have roughly 15,000 square feet dedicated to manufacturing here in College Station, Texas. Like everyone knows, I like my robots. So I have a fleet of CNCs here and a fleet of lasers, and I have a fantastic team really and truly of roughly at any one point 25 to 30 employees that are dedicated to just
Wow.
manufacturing and production. Our team puts out anywhere on average 400 to 600 custom enclosures every month. We do enclosures obviously direct to client, to our huge dealer network, and also to our group of distributors all over North America, which, absolutely Jimson's one of our biggest distributors, and we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, in Canada, of course, if you're interested in an MTI custom enclosure, make sure you get a hold of our friends at Jemsen. They are the distributor for Chris's products. But what about customization options? Because, I'm looking at you here and I can't stop thinking about custom fab. Are there a lot of options I can choose, or is it just, because you mentioned lighting, you mentioned emblem. What else is there?
So there's a ton of options that you can choose. So you can do, obviously, we have the ability to do full front windows. We can do side windows that allows you to see inside, see the subwoofer inside the enclosure. We add lights to the inside of that allow that to light up and basically enhance the vehicle ambience and the overall custom feel of the enclosure. Lots of acrylic inlays, and even to the point that we will ultimately, like I tell everybody, we are a custom box manufacturer and we will build anything. Sometimes it takes, having a private conversation or meeting with me or Edgar and one of the guys on the design team. But the ability to build anything is what we do. You have the ability to add, if you want a storage area in the enclosure, we can add a cubby to the top of the enclosure and do like a single subwoofer so you don't lose all your underseat storage. The list of things is really, it's a multitude of options that you can choose to customize the enclosure. You can do ported, you can do sealed. There's the list goes on and on of things that you can do to customize the enclosure, to personalize it you, and also to get the best sound that you want.
And my last question, what about catering to the different manufacturers, the different brands of subs? Like, how does that work? Do you offer different, I guess, volumes or specs, or how does that work?
So we work directly with every manufacturer out there. We're as I like to say, an equal opportunity offender. There's not a company out there that we won't build for, as long as the specifications are right. If we can make the airspace work and we feel like it's going to have great output across a wide bandwidth, then we're totally down to work with that company. And to be honest with you, every manufacturer out there has been great, from JL Audio to Kicker to the guys at Kenwood to the guys at Ground Zero. I mean, you name it. Those companies, Memphis, every one of them has been great and very easy for us to work with. And it's been exciting for us because as the company has grown, these companies have been more forthcoming and wanting to work with us. We do a ton of stuff for Focal America. So yeah, I mean, it's been a really big deal. And we, like I said, if they can subwoofer for it and we can work in our enclosure correctly with the correct airspace, we're going to do it.
All right. My last question is, I'm gonna take 1 or 2 minutes here just to pick your brain, get some expert advice from you. Dealers tuning in, looking at, saying, wow, these are enclosures. They're probably, not on the low side of cost because these are high quality custom enclosures. What message do you have for dealers looking at this as an option to convince them, hey, this is certainly an option you need to consider when presenting to your customer?
So you have to present the option, and that's the first thing we tell our salespeople. I don't think everyone quite understands where College Station, Texas is. We're not in Houston, we're not in Dallas, and we're not in Austin. We're kind of in between all three of those cities and kind of in the middle of the country here in Texas. And, we don't have a massive, fleet of clients from here. But if you don't present high end to your clients, they're not going to ever know the option, and they're not going to think high end. And to be honest with you, people that buy these trucks, they go in knowing that they're going to spend, $50, $60, $70, $100,000 on a truck. And trust me, most of them don't want just a standard enclosure. And if you present the option, 9 times out of 10, they're going to go for it. And that is just a way to upsell to a nicer enclosure, nicer amplifiers, nicer subwoofers, nicer speakers. And then you have all the extra parts that you're going to need. and it's just it works as almost like, you know, as it ripples on top of each other, almost like a wave. And that you have to present those options to clients. And that's what we are. You know, if you need a quick prefab, there are tons of guys that make great prefab enclosures. We're the other option. And that's what we are. And so that's what I would tell anybody that's, you know, a dealer that's looking at us and going, okay, does this fit into my mix? We do. We're the other enclosure manufacturer you need.
And thank you so much, Chris, for spending the time this evening. I know your time is precious, and I want to congratulate you on a fantastic lineup of products. It offers some really nice high-end solutions for dealers everywhere. I'm really encouraging Canadian dealers to take a closer look at the entire offering and the different levels that you have available. And of course, get a hold of Gemsen, and Gemsen will hook you up with some of these MTI acoustic boxes. Thank you so much, Chris, for being on with us tonight.
Anytime. Thank you, guys. Be safe.
All right. Chris Pate, no stranger to the custom business, and his line of acoustic enclosures, certainly a game changer and a very high quality option for the discerning truck and Jeep enthusiast. Because if there's anything that I could wrap this up with, after having these great guests on and picking their brains, is that the clientele that is involved with this category, you know, Jeeps, off-road, they are a clientele that is ready to spend because they are very, very passionate. You know, this is a wrap for the Jeep and Trucks episode. Big thanks to all the guests for coming in, sharing with us the latest and greatest gear. I think they did a really great job tonight. It's clear to me that it is the best time right now to get into this fast-growing segment and take it much more seriously. Take what we showed you this evening, marinate it, think about it. How are you going to attack and how are you going to engage this community? I want to remind everybody to tune into our CMA Connected webcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I call it my lunchtime a learning session. I go one-on-one with a different brand every single session. Our next show happens to be this Friday when I welcome back Jeff Smith. We talk a little bit more about Stinger Jeep products. Hey, I can't believe it, but at the end of the show, we'll be back here, of course, in 2 short weeks for the very next CMA Live episode when it's going to be all about digital sound processing. Part 1 of a 2-part series. You don't want to miss it. Featuring, of course, some of the biggest and baddest brands in that category that specialize in DSP. CMA Live, presented by SiriusXM. I'm your humble host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM, with even more exclusive content, like over 140 channels in your vehicle, including the widest, deepest variety of music, ad-free. Root for your team. Get news. Listen to whatever makes you laugh. And hear all about your favorite stars. Your all-access trial includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels filled with music and enjoy a favorite shows with SiriusXM Video. Thousands of hours of shows and performances on demand. What you love is on now.